on the issues of oil theft. While we look at oil theft and its effects on our economy, the state government and the federal government largely depend on oil, largely. So if there is oil theft, it doesn't affect only the federal government. It affects us as a state government and the local governments. And we have carried that message over and over, and will continue to carry it. We are talking about our environment that has been brazenly polluted by the activities of these, particularly oil bunkers. If you go to our communities now, all you see is oil floating in our rivers. And that has led to the locals not having a source of livelihood anymore. Much as it affects the federal government and the state governments, it affects the communities. It affects the people living there. And in fact, if we don't stop it, it will lead to our communities becoming extinct. As a state government, we have also set up the General Angaye outfit, which is our community safety corps. And it is set up by law, and that outfit is also going to look into the issues of oil theft, particularly using our locals in gathering intelligence. We are one and the same. Whatever that affects the states affects you. Whatever that affects you also affects the state governments. And I'd like to also appreciate the security agencies here in Bayelsa. And so, Bayelsa State will not be a safe haven for oil theft and for oil bunkers. And so we will work with you. I will give you that assurance. I will collaborate, and we will collaborate to ensure that this oil theft is brought to an end.
There is need for greater collaboration at the state and local government levels, and indeed at the community levels. Why? Because we have assessed that such engagement will enable us to achieve close to 90% of what is required. The remaining 10%, of course, will be dealing with the core criminals who wouldn't be deterred, except, of course, they continue to engage in criminal enterprise. And perhaps also to use the opportunity to say that for anyone, perhaps, who do not want to toe the line of reason, then, of course, they will be seeing the wrath of the military and other security agencies. So, Your Excellency, this is why we're here, and I want to thank you for receiving us once again.
Our environment is deeply degraded today. What we have seen in Imo, Rivers, Delta, Bayelsa is a damage of very immense proportion. You will not be talking about oil, you will be talking about survival of people in our host communities. And this is almost a central danger that they are facing today, Excellency. If we don't contend this, we will wake up one day to say that we do not have an environment. And this is very important to us. Today, in terms of opportunities lost or value lost, we are losing close to $2 billion every month as a result of the actions of these vandals and these criminals. It's important we collaborate, and we are counting on your support and every other state governors across the oil-producing states to bring this to an end. A number of interventions are going on now, both in terms of security, community engagement, which now needs your help, and also in terms of bringing the right set of civil surveillance contractors on the pipeline, which also needs your cooperation and your support to succeed.
The oil theft has attained alarming rates, and we can no longer, it's no longer sustainable. But the federal government cannot do it alone. The stealing is actually going on in the communities and in states. So we felt that we must bring everybody on board so that we are able to effectively fight this menace. We cannot even talk about attracting investors in a scenario where oil that is being produced by investors is being stolen by others. So we have to ensure that we tackle this issue, and that's why we've come. And of course, the governor has been very gracious. All the governors we have visited have been gracious, and they have committed to working together with the federal government to ensure that this problem is tackled expeditiously.